Here are 5 things we learned from Liverpool's first pre-season game back against Preston, beating them 3-1. Firstly and foremost, this video must start with a tribute to Diogo Jota, as the game did. It was always going to be about Diogo Jota, that first game back. Some really touching tributes from not just the fans, but the players as well. I can't even imagine how it was to play in that game. It was devastating and hard to watch, let alone play. Those players have my respects and tenfold. Like, I can't even begin to comprehend what they're going through right now, and to play a game, and that goes for anyone who knew Diogo at this time, is beyond incomprehensible. I'd love to just start with Jota and end with Jota, and in the meantime, we'll look at what we learned from the game, because this was Liverpool's first pre-season game, and there are things we can take from it. Ngumoha, we can look at Trey Nyoni, we can look at the centre-halves, we can look at Darwin Nunez, Kerkez, loads of talking points. We're going to get straight to them with it. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this vid, and if you enjoy it, leave a like down below. We're going to start with Ngumoha. He played 45 minutes. He looked electric, I've got to say. So direct, so confident, really positive when on the ball. Always looking to either beat a man, always looking to get a shot away. He was never looking for that kind of safe option, like maybe pass to someone else, let someone else do something. He was always looking to initiate some sort of potent threat. So skillful and so fast, by the way. Like, even though it was a pre-season game, I bet that fullback was like, "You are joking." It's also like the age factor. Like, that fullback must have known that he was 16, probably at half his age or whatever. The fullback, however the older fullback was, it just adds to the embarrassment when he does get past him, and he did get past him a few times today. So impressive, completed the most dribbles in the first half, consistent and a constant threat from the wide areas. 100% dribbles completed, 93% pass accuracy. He definitely deserves more pre-season minutes from that game alone. Also, he played at Accrington last year, didn't he? And he was also very good. Chelsea, I think it's very telling when the previous club are very reluctant to let him go, and Chelsea were, and a lot of Chelsea fans are going, "Well, hold on, you should have paid more for this guy." And that's, I think, speaking volumes. He is looking like an absolute wonder kid, I've got to say. And I think there's a separate video coming on Ngumoha tomorrow, maybe, so stay tuned for that and subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm excited to see where he's going to take off, or what the future, where the future lies with Ngumoha, because, mate, this guy's exciting. Absolutely encouraging signs from all of our new signings. In fact, I think the goalkeeper actually coincidentally comes from Preston, played the second half, but Mamardashvili played the first half. I think we had a good half. I thought he was pretty calm. I mean, wasn't really challenged, to be honest with you. And more importantly, Kerkez and Frimpong. That's what we've got to talk about. Both played the second half. Both played 45 minutes. Frimpong's pace and his physicality stood out for me. There were some instances where maybe, the man got past him, but he'd just run past. He'd literally just run back, jog back and win the ball. Like, he did that a couple times. It's frightening, that speed. The acceleration to get off the mark is scary. Frimpong, Kerkez, really good relationship with Gakpo, I thought. At times, he was inverting into midfield, just filling out that midfield. But at other times, it was overlapping and combining with Gakpo, playing 1-2s with them. I think literally the first 5 minutes of that second half was a really nice 1-2 and an exchange between Gakpo and Kerkez. Very interesting to see where that relationship develops and hopefully blossoms, you've got to say. But yeah, positive, you've got to say. Like, this time, we're not looking for these two to go and get assists and that kind of thing. It's their first 45 minutes for the club, as it is for everyone this season. It's just about getting warm into your boots, like literally warming up for the season, right? We're not expecting them to pull up trees, and they didn't do that, but they did enough for me to impress. Kerkez inverted well, but also combined nicely with Gakpo, and early signs of chemistry, just about bedding in at this stage, of course. Trey Nyoni, how good was he, by the way, first half? I think he really went under the radar, completed 100% of his passes in the first half, really assured in like really tight areas. And I want to just look at my bottom point there. I think his profile is very similar to Gravenberch in terms of how they want to receive the ball. They want to receive the ball almost with a player near him to take him out of the equation first. He did that. He received the ball from a defender, I believe, and then just dropped his shoulder, played it across the front of him, and then just walked off. And how many times has Gravenberch done that? In fact, it was known as the Gravenberch turn, whatever it was last year. And that kind of tall, maybe lanky kind of presence. They're not the most physically like big shadows or the most big profiles, both him and Gravenberch, but I really see the comparisons, and it's very exciting. My middle point I've written down there, if we're going to be like really critical, and maybe the one thing actually preventing him from starting a lot of games for Liverpool, technically he's excellent, but I think physically he just needs to just build up a bit. And I look at Bajcetic, who's come back from a spell in Las Palmas in Spain and also a spell at Salzburg. This guy looks like twice the size, mate. Have you seen this guy's legs? Mate, Bajcetic looks a bloke now. I look at other young players in the squad. Jadon Danns looks like a fella. Like, it looks like a serious bloke up front. Naoni still looks like it looks like me. So maybe that's a weakness, perhaps, but that'll come in time. That's absolutely going to come in time. You're not expecting him to be the rock overnight. So it's one of them we got to just watch Naoni. I think he's an absolutely He's a truly exciting player. He's one of our most talented midfielders on the ball for me. I think he goes in the same category as Curtis Jones in terms of protecting the ball. He's got that kind of frame where you can't really get hold of him, but again, he's not very physical. So it's like, how is he doing that? He's got this weird on the ball strength. I just think actually off the ball is where the weaknesses lie, in my opinion, with Nyoni. So very exciting. The centre back options. I was looking at this game thinking, who the hell are we going to start there? Obviously, Quance has just gone. Phillips has just gone. Williams, I don't know if Reece Williams is even alive. Van Dijk's not going to play. Canan's not going to play. We ended up playing, if you've not watched the game, we played Gomez in the first half, left to left, and then Stevenson right side off the obviously off the right in the first half. It was good. I thought Stevenson were fine. Yeah, a bit shaky at the start, kind of very fast passes, like a rabbit in the headlights kind of thing, just wanting to get the ball out of his feet straight away. But that's expected, right, when you're thrown into these games within the first team. But I thought he did okay. Again, not much threat, like with Mamardashvili. I thought he did okay, but not much threat, really. It wasn't really needed. And then the second half was Nallo. He's called Nallo, right? I was really impressed. And I've got to say, I know we conceded, but it was from a set piece. We did not concede from open play. And in pre-season, I don't really care, ultimately, but he didn't have many errors, if any. But it's how you pick yourself up from the setbacks last year. He was obviously sent off last year within 5 minutes against PSV. On his debut, it was like, wow, like that's a big hit for a young kid to be kind of. I mean, he was literally in the papers the morning after for no reason at all. Like, it was not necessary, the amount of stick he got for no reason. But to really pick yourself up and bounce back, and Arne Slot clearly trusts him. Like, that has not knocked his confidence. It's not put him further down in the pecking order. He's still playing in pre-season. So I'm really happy for him, and I think he's done very well to pick himself up. Robertson, on the other hand, he's played left centre half, second half, he didn't watch the game. He had a really bad error at one point at the halfway line. I think a striker tried to pin him, and he really got it wrong, timing-wise, and he's tracking back, and he's like sprinting back. Robertson, poor lad, and it's just, to be honest, with a heavy heart, it looked nasty. He did not look like he was able to get back, and that was not a fast striker, by the way. He didn't look it anyway. Nala was jogging back, and Robertson was sprinting to go in the same pace. So that was the only thing that stood out for me, as well as that error. It just shows Arne Slot's probably going to play him more as a defensive left back or a centre back this year. I've always thought Robertson actually will be quite a good centre back, maybe in a back three, certainly in a back three, tucking in. He did it last season a lot, tucking into a back three. Maybe we'll see it this season, but it really made me rethink actually where I am on the whole Robertson Tsimikas thing, seeing him this season. And listen, we've got to. I said I was going to end on Jota, right? I think we have to, because you don't know what these players are thinking. You don't know what they're going through. I can't even. I mean, as a fan now, I can barely work out what I'm going through. Let alone these lads who aren't just like teammates. They're brothers. These lads, they see each other every day. And Robertson in particular was very close to Jota, wasn't he? By all accounts, he was at his wedding and his funeral within 2 or 3 weeks. It's incomprehensible. I can't. You actually can't sum up how tragic and devastating that is, and how much he must be going through right now. So I think people need to just chill out on the criticism. Yeah, they made one mistake today. Yeah, he didn't look great recovering from it. But ultimately, it's a pre-season game. Ultimately, there's a lot going on right now, and I want to talk about actually that within the next player. My final point, by the way, it's Nunez. I think he had a really good game today, and I'm going to give him absolutely respect. Respect, because I made a vid literally yesterday saying, Nunez, we should probably take a bid here from Napoli sooner rather than later. I know we turned down a £50 million bid, then they pulled out because they thought it was too much. He's going through a lot. His position in the team, is probably less likely or less certain than any other player, really, you got to say. He was so dead on to leave before what happened, and then now we've kind of been forced into playing that hand. Maybe he stays, and his future's so uncertain, especially what's going on with his grieving at this time. He was very close to Jota, wasn't he, I think, from what I'm seeing as a fan. So he must be going through a lot, and to pull himself out of that hole, which I can't even imagine how you even do such a thing, and to not just score, but to have a really good game, a really good impact in that second half. The smart leave for Gakpo's goal, really intelligent. Something, by the way, we've knocked him for a lot this year, last year and the year before. That intelligence in and around the box. Sometimes maybe the 2 years ago there, or last year even, he'll have just taken that first time and gone in his own. But he's had the awareness to look around and leave it for Gakpo's in a better position to go and score, leave it for his mate. Yeah, it was a good second half, and it was a really good performance, all things considered. And listen, we've got to consider that's where we leave this video, because that game meant so much more than just a pre-season game. You probably tell in my voice, I'm not very optimistic. I'm not like, wow, this is such a great watch. It was not a good watch. It was a hard watch. and the chant echoed around the ground, the applause matched by the Preston fans who stood up, and that's a great touch of respect. All the players. It's a difficult time right now for Liverpool, and certainly these players. I really want people to go steady on their criticism at the start of the season. If we get 6 points from our first 5 games, who cares? Who really cares? There's bigger things going on, and it's probably the biggest thing that could go on. So I think people need to just relax the criticism and understand. I'm sure they will. By the way, I'm not saying they will be as critical. I'm sure people will, and the city and the club. There's never been a better one, right, at reacting to things like this. And so far, the way Liverpool have reacted to it has been nothing short of superb, as have other clubs, Preston today specifically. I'm going to leave it there. I'm really happy with that first game, I've got to say. Loads of points to make. It just feels like there's a kind of that thing in the back of our mind that's holding us back from going, wow, I'm so excited for next season, because it's tough watching them players play. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Any points you think I made the nonsense, anything you agree with. If you did enjoy the vid, leave a like. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. Hopefully, this will be the biggest or the best place for your Liverpool thoughts to be left in the community down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.